because I'm always
No,
muted. Sorry.
no, you weren't muted. I'm thinking, what is she going on about? I'm thinking, I didn't want to be rude, saying, Ginger, what's the crack here? You know, shit. What, am I losing my marbles here or what? For fuck's sake! Oh, that's just absolutely crazy. It happens on my panels.
Oh, this is going to be a good panel today. Mm-hmm.
Well, tonight, well, it'll be tonight for me now because this guy's
Yeah,
going to be pretty funny later. That's going to be a nice late one for me again. But hey, I said I'd do it, and I will. I might take the THC oil for that one. I think I might need it.
Yeah.
Hi, Chad.
Yeah.
Right?
Hello.
Tomorrow, thank goodness, my wife is.
Thank goodness your wife is.
Drive.
All right.
Thank goodness she has.
Candace, you're breaking up.
Tomorrow.
No, I can sort of hear it.
He's breaking up bad. He's breaking up bad.
He's starting to you're starting to robot out there, Guinness.
Hi, Chad.
Yeah, you are, Sean, a little bit.
Hi, Ginger.
Hi, Nudie.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I was going to say, I don't know. I try to remember who Shoulder Pets is, but then I clicked in.
And relocate the mic.
You sound a little bit better, Guinness.
One moment, please.
So in some parts of Ireland, the internet is really bad when you.
1 second.
I'm not. That's not giving away Sean's location, but.
Am I coming back?
No, you're still breaking up.
Am I starting to come?
You're still breaking up. You're still breaking up, man.
I'm making Sean crack up. Oops.
Why does that do that to some people?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's strange because, like, for a while people are okay, and then all of a sudden it happens. It's a bit weird.
Well, I know for a fact that with some people's cases, if you put video up, it messes them up.
But no, nobody's got their cameras on, so that shouldn't happen.
Well, but it might have been a slight glitch because I had my camera on before just as you were bringing me in. So.
Oh, it's awful.
So there's not enough.
I'll take I'll take responsibility. The possibility of him going robot-y.
Is it the video?
Right.
Do I sound okay?
Is it the video card? Is it the video card that hurts? I mean, video card that screws it up because you got so many streams out there, or so many chats. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I say it got a little bit crazy when there was like 9 of us in it, and when it's like that,
and everybody wanted to, and half of them wanted to put their video up.
It's like, whoa! How can you stand so many roboing in my ears at the same time because they're all on different? And I'm thinking, oh, my brain can't handle this. But
I was going to start singing. I was going to start singing here. Nobody got Mr. Roboto.
Has my mic improved?
Yes, it has. Yep. Yes, it has.
Yes. John, yeah.
Okay, well, nice talking to you, Kenneth.
That's good.
Nice talking to you.
Stop being cheeky.
I'm sorry.
It should be good, though, for you doing that with your wife, though, and having a weekend away, because you need it every once in a while.
Guys, can you do me a favor? If I don't get on the stream by Saturday or Monday, you know what happened? My wife beat the tar out of me because it was Women's Night.
Oh, behave yourself. We're not going to drop you in it that much.
Come on, guys, help me out here.
No.
Oh, you traitors!
You completely
I
asked for
can't
it.
say anything because I can't say anything because I'll say it this way. I know what DJ can be like, and I know what Skies can be like. So
And both
I'd
of us
say
together, you're in trouble.
hi Skies. I see you in there in chat.
Both of us together, double trouble. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God!
It's
I
gonna
talk like
be
a
fun.
And then you throw that ginger chick in the mix, and it gets even worse.
Well,
yeah.
hopefully Ginger's going to be joining us too, so it's going to be a mad panel.
I know she's gonna be, and then of course you got Lulu. You're if you I'll say to you right now, right? If I don't see you after Friday, I know you're a dead man.
Or I talk soprano.
I bet Wright's wife has buried a hole in the backyard already.
Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, just protect her. That's all out there. She's new out there. You know what I mean?
Oh, we will look after her. She'll be fine.
Yeah. First time she's ever been on the internet.
And the guru and I'll probably lurking around in the chat.
Oh, Guru. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Guru.
Yeah,
I like the whole
said,
team.
we'll
I
probably
like.
lurking around.
I like you guys. Every one of you. You guys are great. Everyone from Guinness to Chad to
I couldn't
everybody
believe
here.
it this morning. I just fell asleep
Thank
on
you.
everyone, and that was terrible. Mind you, it was getting late for me, so yeah, I do have that as well because of the time difference.
Well, what I can do is I can start hopefully I can start my chat or my blog, whatever you call it, and bring you.
And by the way, DJ,
Yes.
you do snore, honey. You do snore, and but not loud. I was watching the whole stream and laughing my ass off.
Considering I
was
can
watching
hardly
on my
fucking breathe out of my nose, you cheeky git.
She pretends that she's not sleeping. I'll call her 10 times and I'll tell her. She'll say, "No, you didn't. Thank God I had a witness. Nude Guru was there."
Not that it bothers me at all. I mean, my sinuses are getting a bit clearer now. That I've sneezed a few hundred times, but
Blame it on the dog. Blame it on the dog, DJ.
What, Leo?
Yeah, blame it on him when he snores.
It normally is him.
For, Sky?
Leo's snoring is infamous. Everybody can hear him snoring, especially like when I am on live stream, because I'm literally talking at the time, so it literally can't be me. I mean, it gets ridiculous, and then people in the chat say, "Oh, it's relaxing us. Let him be," and whatever. I used to go on a certain person's
You weren't
stream.
You weren't out that long though.
I normally aren't, but
you were only snoring for about 3 minutes. And literally when they caught you snoring, DJ, KY literally was just
Last
there,
night.
and literally you woke up. No, tonight. No, tonight.
Oh, last night it happened to us too.
Yeah, but last night when she or tonight when she fell asleep and was snoring, right? She was only asleep for like a matter of like 3 or 4 minutes. It wasn't even that long. They were making it seem like she was sleeping for like 5-10 minutes. It was like, no. She took a 3-minute cat nap. Leave her alone.
Hi, Skies. I
Hey,
said
Tonkin.
hi earlier. I don't know if you've seen me or not.
Hi, Tonkin.
Well, Sky's in here. Hi, Sky.
Yeah,
hey, Guinness.
She's actually been in it for a little while now.
She must be on.
Good.
She must be on her phone because she's not coming up.
Hey, Guinness, can you talk now or what?
Can anyone in chat hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I just wonder if Guinness if he can talk still.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ginger.
Nobody's ignoring anyone or anything. And
What happened to Guinness?
Oh, sneeze again. Fuck's sake. So for fuck's sake,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
is.
Maybe
Damn.
oh, he's there.
Is he?
Yeah, he just.
Yeah.
Is that on me for a split second? I don't know.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you, Guinness.
Who's having a bath?
If you guys
No one.
can
I
hear
just
me,
took my
I
pill
don't know.
out of the thing.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you, Sean. What do you mean,
Can
Tonkin?
you
That
hear me?
Sky is... Yeah, we can, darling. We can hear you. Tonkin is saying that Sky is stalking him
me
again. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm maybe behind a little bit or something. There's a delay.
It depends if you're in StreamYard or if you're in YouTube, because there's a delay if you're in YouTube, but if you're in StreamYard, there shouldn't be a delay. I mean, you're not exactly that far away from the UK, are
Tonkin,
you?
I heard it was the other way around.
Oh no,
Tonkin, I heard it was the other way around. You were stalking. You were stalking Sky. And I'm still trying to figure out why Sky wants me smacked.
So Sky wants you smacked or stacked?
Yeah, she said smack, Chad.
Yeah, I went.
Whoa, that could be very nice for you. Knowing Sky, she like make me do it, but.
Well, yeah, she wants to make you the bad guy and get me mad.
Gummy time.
What one's he taking today, Ginger?
Next year I'm in Canada. Who will be with Sky, Tonkin? Tonkin.
Oh, he's talking about when he goes to Canada. I don't know if they let you over the border, Tonkin. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but he is, as he says, I bet next year when I'm in Canada, you will be with Sky. Who will be with Sky?
He says you will be Skies.
You've heard.
Oh, they definitely wouldn't let me
you'll be
into the United States or Canada. Unfortunately.
Oh dear. I think it's going to be
But yeah.
I think we can have a rowdy panel, Skies, later on.
Can you hear me? Or shall I come?
We actually can hear you.
Sky, can you hear me?
Shall I
said hello.
Oh, don't
come back in? It might be clearer.
Sky, are you mad at me?
If you want to, you can.
No,
but we actually can hear you.
When he said it.
You mean Chad?
Who?
I'm getting confused myself now. For fuck's sake.
I'm confused. Token's lost me.
Totally confused. The whole fucking night I've been confused.
That might be the THC.
I just started medicating now.
What do you mean just started? You were ripping a bong or what a couple of hours ago?
Oh, that didn't do anything. That does nothing for me.
So
now I'm gonna feel it soon. I just took some gummies.
So why on earth rip bongs if they do nothing for you? That's
I
just
mean,
a
in that
legitimate
way,
question.
it slowed my
Oh,
brain
okay.
down from panic and anxiety and being
I'm
spooked.
lost with the Tolkien Sky thing here. Like they got me confused. Like apparently he's coming to Canada next year. He says somebody be with Skies. I don't know who he's referring to. Skies
Hang
doesn't
on.
remember why she wanted me. Tolkien's got me confused. Tonka's got me confused. I don't know. He's all over the place. And Skies isn't mad at you, Ginger.
I think what I've managed to get from this conversation, it's about the stalking thing, and he's basically saying when he comes to Canada next year, she will be stalking him. That's what I've got from the conversation. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what I picked up on it, and I'm pretty good at picking up what people are saying in chats.
Yeah, well the only
Unlike
yeah, me
Skies,
too.
where
I'm
he
pretty
just
decent
picks
at
up
it
every
too,
other
but
word. I'm sure you are.
the only part of that whole thing that throws me in that conversation, stalking
Right.
conversation, is who is he saying will be with Scott?
Yeah,
To be
see,
honest with you,
Tonkin's saying I'm right,
most
see?
times the chat kind of goes over my head.
Oh, bless you. I wouldn't worry about it too much, Sean. I mean, it'd be nice that over in Ireland, we'll get you to like meet my family and that, and it should be right. The way I don't know whether they still drink that badly now, but when the last time I saw him, oh my god, I'm
Um,
surprised everyone didn't get nicked, but it was good.
well, personally, I used to drink. I used to drink. Well, in my youth, in my teens, like I drank quite often, quite heavily, and then I've had my bouts. You know, I've had my phases of you know,
Oh, yeah, I get
uh,
you.
uh, alcohol, like not dependency, but
No, I get you.
but yeah, these days I don't actually drink that much at all, to be honest.
I don't have like really like any
But yeah,
vices
definitely,
anymore.
it'll be.
It
Sorry.
should be a laugh because Marshall's going to come over with me, so it will be a laugh.
Oh yeah,
So I'm going to be in
definitely.
charge of Marshall. He doesn't know what he's in for. It should be
Oh,
a good laugh though.
you can
Oh, I'm
take
going to take.
responsibility for them.
Well, I think I'm going to have to because. Well, I don't know what his situation is going to be
Yeah,
like by then,
definitely,
but I've said I would, and the fact that I'm going to have Leo with me as well,
definitely.
so he's going to be well protected. Put it that way. And obviously, being in a different country. I mean, I know it's not that far, just being over the pond and that, but it is completely different to the UK, most definitely. But it'd be a good laugh anyway.
I know.
Hopefully, no one's going to get arrested. I can't guarantee it.
I would agree.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. You never know in
It would
Ireland,
definitely.
apparently.
Like
Oh, it's funny because my
uh,
uncle's
you know,
spoken to one of my
well,
Irish
I
relatives
did my utmost
recently.
best, to keep it
Well,
to
my
keep a
Irish
law-abiding.
relatives want me to stay over
I
there
was
for a while.
arrested, which is it's a bit of shock. It was
It was that long ago you've forgotten, or it was that memorable, or
and how do you feel about that?
so you literally cut out from everything for the whole sentence.
You literally, yeah,
Bud,
you
see that,
literally
Bud.
cut out halfway through there.
I see what you're.
We could sort of like fill in the blanks for you, Sean, if you like.
I
I
see.
don't think you'd want
I
us to
see.
do that. Sorry,
I
Ginger.
see. I see what you're typing there, Bud. Fuck
Yeah, you
Canada.
must be reading the chat. What?
Fuck Bud. No, I'm just kidding, Bud. Or
Possibly.
don't fuck Canada. You la la la
No,
la la.
I actually wasn't, Sean. I was listening to you. I wasn't reading the. Well, I am reading
Here,
the chat, but
I cut out, did I?
oh, you started talking and then you literally cut out for a bit and then came back in for a bit and then cut out again. I was
like when yourself and Marshall come over, what we do is we'll let go see some natural sights and obviously.
I'm not feeling too good,
what he's
guys.
trying to
I'm gonna hop
say.
down.
Definitely. When yourself and Marshall.
All right, Ginger. Later.
Well, I know what I was talking about, but I don't know what you heard. We're basically saying that, like, when you come over, and I'll try and keep it legal. And I was saying, like, last time I was arrested was 2016, which is remarkable.
You're doing pretty well. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I haven't, so I don't go around breaking the law, and I'm normally pretty good. But in regards to Marshall,
for myself,
I
personally, I don't know if I could be heard.
No, we actually can hear you.
Skies, why do you want to shut off DJ's phone for? Or
what?
Shut off GJ's phone. DJ's.
Well,
what do you want to shut off DJ's phone for?
I'm not even on my phone.
You see, I have a very funny way of looking at the law.
Oh, right.
I have a very funny way of looking at the law.
What, do you still like tear up the rule book? Well, I would say, Tonkin, if you want to join us as well, the more the merrier, I think. I mean, and Sean's probably thinking, oh my God, how many Brits am I going to have to put up with here? Oh dear.
Myself and the law, for instance, yes, I do realize that, yes, there has to be laws in place, and I do abide by the majority of them. But no, it's perfectly fine. I honestly, Vic. Honestly, Vic, I could genuine Vic, and I'm not just saying this, and I don't mean to sound like I don't mean to generalize, but I have mixed and partied and socialized and lived with quite
I'm sure.
literally, I wouldn't say every nationality or every race of people or ethnic group on earth, but I have actually mixed with a lot of them, and the majority of them I got on with, or tried to become accustomed to their ways. you know.
Well, I'm probably the most
But
easygoing,
yeah,
relaxed
just to
person that you'll
clarify
come
the thing
across.
about the
So
law, in the country of my birth, the police service or Garda Síochána, when a person from the traveling community is born, they have a system, and it's a criminal database for everybody in the country. Okay, but when a person from the traveling community is no, just clarifying about the law. I have a funny outlook on the law personally.
it's
Right.
all right though.
In Ireland, it was a whistleblower. It was a officer came out and actually disclosed this. So he did, amongst other things, about corruption, that they ethnically profile
wow.
Irish travelers from the moment they're born. So basically, in a
Did
nutshell,
that still go on?
from the moment a child is born, well, it kind of
I actually thought that got better, but
I don't know. Maybe I'm coming across wrong. You know.
no, you actually not. I actually get what you mean, but I thought it did get better than that. But maybe
right. Well, basically, from the moment I was born, I had not exactly a criminal record, but I was on a criminal database from the moment I was born, just
which
because
is
of my
ridiculous, isn't it? Well, why on earth they have to do that? I do not know. That's
no.
ridiculous.
In the Republic of Ireland, there's quite literally there is now. They may have somewhat cleaned it up a bit, but a whistle. I'm genuine, Vix.
No. I believe that, because that would explain why my family over there do have such disdain for the
I'm
cops.
not just
because
saying it like, oh, poor us, look at us,
oh no, I know you're not.
There's good and bad, and unfortunately, what it is through centuries of being denied education and being.
Oh, I totally get it. It would explain a lot from the way my family sort of like tried to describe it when I was younger, and I was like, what? Okay. But it is completely.
Sorry,
You have a complete. When my family over there tried to explain it, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" But
Hello?
until you, so we can hear you.
We can hear you, man.
Are
you speaking to me?
Yeah, I was actually, but it's. Yeah, I was saying, when I was talking to my Irish family about this was a while ago now, and they have such disdain for the cops, and I can understand why now.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose until you've actually experienced it for yourself and seen it with your own eyes,
I think
it's
I'm
difficult.
on a delay. Well, basically, through centuries of being through.
Oh, bless you, he's having.
Well, that comes from there's a couple of reasons for the disdain for the police.
I'm sure.
Well, it depends on what. I don't mean to pry into your business, but it depends on what background they're coming from.
I haven't exactly asked, because I'm not saying all Irish are like it, but some are very protective of those kinds of questions.
I to be honest with you, there's not many travelers. I'm from the Irish traveling community. Although I
Yeah.
spent the first half of my life living in council estates and council flats in London.
Yeah,
And
you
when I was
said,
living in London, I didn't really know much about my culture or anything like that. And then when I moved to Ireland, that's when I got a kind of like a smack into the face. Exactly how I got to London, or from London to
yeah,
Dublin. But
I remember.
it like I don't know, just yeah. There's not like there is obviously
It
travelers that
is
are vocal
difficult.
about these type of issues, but most of them just
A lot of them aren't.
most of them just try to get on with their day to day. No, what I mean by get on is like the day to day lives, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
there is the select few that you see in the like social media, and with call out videos and violence and things like that.
Oh,
Um,
I'm not into that at
that's
all.
actually those call out videos and stuff like that. If you go back 30 years, maybe they. No, I'm not personally. I'm our culture and our community from within. You know, it's
Yeah, sure.
it's detrimental. So it is to the bond. Between the community. You know,
Hmm.
and you know it's like as I was saying, like not a lot of up until the smartphone generation. We just say
Hmm.
the majority of travelers, for instance, couldn't read or write. They were totally illiterate. Um, Now, just because you have literacy skills doesn't mean that you're not intelligent, but having those literacy skills opens doors for you.
Of course
Um,
it does.
like for instance, they would exclude them from. They would basically segregate them in the schools. Um, it just like quite literally the list goes on. It's actually, and especially this day and age, it kind of. I'm really the more I kind of look into it and talk about it. Not now at this particular moment, but
No.
over the last couple of years, I've been pretty vocal with people uh, about my culture and my outlook on where it's going, and kind of it's bugging me, and it's coming to the point that yeah, there is government paid representatives from the traveling community that run traveling centers for to educate them and also to give them legal advice and things like that. But at the end of the day, they're government funded and they're government directed. And we're talking about the same government that wanted to ethnic cleanse us less than 60 years ago. You know, like, yeah, the people the faces may have changed, but the the politics in
It
Ireland
still is
hasn't
the
hasn't
same.
changed.
Yeah,
You know,
I get you.
you know.
It's
Um,
difficult.
it is, and then
Which
especially
also causes
amongst
a divide between Ireland and the UK as well. It's doing nothing to help that. And I think they've done that deliberately as well. And that's just my own personal opinion. But I mean, a lot of the UK don't hold any ill will towards you guys and vice versa. But It's a minority, isn't it?
There is, yes, there's a select minority, both in the Republic of Ireland, or what we refer to as the South, and the North, or Northern Ireland. There are a select few that really hold, the bitterness and the grudges, and it will take generations for that to pass.
It's a shame.
It's inevitable. To be honest with you, it's inevitable. A united Ireland is inevitable. Um, and that's speaking from a person that personally, I don't care whether Ireland is united or not. For the simple fact is, they have done, both south and north of the border have done nothing to help my community. So the way I look at them is, like, we're impartial, like, that's the way. Well, I'm impartial, and to that situation. Plus, in 1916, when Padraig Pearse and the other leaders of the rebellion, of the Easter Rising rebellion, stood outside of the General Post Office in Dublin, and they read the Irish Proclamation. It stated that there shall never be a king or queen, or a lord or lady, a duke or a duchess on the island of Ireland again. So
I think
herein
that's
lies
total.
another problem I have
I think that's
that.
total bull.
Is
To be fair, it's not fair on you guys, is it?
on my father's side. Well, you see, if most traveling names actually go back, so they do, to chieftains and leaders amongst different clans before the colonization of Ireland, and that I believe that's one of the reasons that they're being persecuted for centuries. And then obviously when the divide of the country happened, well, basically, like, they're actually still using English law, meaning you have to pass the legal bar is actually set by the English standards. So technically, we don't even have our own law or legal system, which therein lies one of the reasons why. It's one of the reasons why I personally, have a certain disregard for the authorities. You know, it's one of them.
I totally get that.
Sorry to drone on. Sorry.
No. Like I said, I do not mind, because, like I say, quite a bit of my family is Irish, so, or extended family, so I completely get it. But unless you, like I say, unless you've experienced it for yourself, it's difficult to explain to other people that don't know what it's about, and it's a completely different world.
Unfortunately, like, for instance, just on like a social, in like a social setting in Ireland, it's deemed perfectly okay. Like, if you were having a drink with your best friends, or you know, close relatives, to say the most horrible thing you could say imaginable. You're like almost like some people, like obviously if you weren't used to it, you would think, oh my gosh, I just got so badly insulted or disrespected. But that's kind of like a way of showing you, well, obviously not everybody, sometimes they fucking mean what they're saying, but you got to read between the lines. But most times, like when people are you know, it's a way of endearment, and actually showing you, well, we like you, you know.
No, I totally get it. But you have to have such a thick skin.
Yeah, you know. Personally, when I
And
moved
also
from,
not getting wound up either. But when people talk to you, you can normally tell if they mean it by the tone of what they're saying, how they're saying it, and looking in their eyes when they're saying it, whether or not they're a threat to you or not. But people don't do
totally
that. They
correct.
just respond, which
Well,
I
like,
certainly don't.
no, believe it or not, Vix, before I met my wife, I had no particular self-worth. I did not value my life whatsoever.
That's a shame.
And I didn't really have a filter, so to speak. I kind of, you know,
can believe that too.
I, you know, like this is just me, like, conversating.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a filter, you know. I just called it the way I seen it, and
Of course.
yeah. Thankfully, I met a good woman, and she, well, for lack of a better word or description, tamed me to a certain degree.
Which she
Like,
actually
you know,
balanced you
I kind
out.
of, yes, you know, she made me
Which, if
think
you find the
twice, and
right person, that's what they do. You balance each other out, which is the way it's supposed to be.
to
But
be honest with you, Vix, I don't know. I I honestly, I don't know how or why. Well, I obviously do because she told me, but I'm being deadly serious. I even
okay.
think some days, what the heck is she doing with me? Like, you know, like,
Oh,
you
come
know,
on.
what the heck,
Um,
like, does this woman see in me? You know?
what I actually see about you is that you've obviously been through a lot in your life. That is clear to see, but there are a lot of layers to you, which is a good thing, because it doesn't make you a boring
Mm-hmm.
person, and you've got a lot of life experience which you can draw on and help other people with. And she sees the kindness in you and all of that, which I've seen from like day one. So, and you know, she obviously knows you a lot better. So if I can see that, then you see what I'm saying.
Can I intervene?
Of course,
Thank
you
you,
said
Vix.
your right rights.
Guinness, you can take
Yeah,
this
yeah. Go ahead.
as you may. Okay, learn from the little experience I have. I'm 70 years old. I've been through the same thing you have, and I'm pretty sure other people have too. What you have to do, and I'm serious, it's hard, but you have to live 1 minute at a time. Let things be as they may. If there's a problem, there's got to be a situation to the problem, and it's not you. Don't ever think it's you. It's just a problem that you have to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever down yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself. If there's something wrong,
Yeah,
figure out the problem. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever doubt yourself.
But to actually back up Sean here, because of the way things are over in Ireland and the way the actual travelling community is, that people look down on them as if they're beneath you, and they're actually not. So he's had to go through all that too, because my family's explained it to me what it's been like for them. So I get it a little bit more than that. But the fact that he's come over and been part of like the London culture as well, that's very confusing, and it involves gangs and doing lots of things that he's not proud of. So he's got he had to get over that too, and with the people he had around, and drugs are very prevalent over there too, and the drink as well. So when you're a young teenage lad and you've got all of that going on, you get very confused with it all. And even he's sorted himself out now. There's no guarantee, it's obvious that he has, but you've obviously got that in your back of your mind constantly, that people think that that you're still back there. If you see what I mean, it's a difficult situation to get yourself out of, and I think having the right woman with you obviously helped you out a lot, and you're not obviously going to go back there again because you don't want to. I think that's a good thing.
Things will work out. Just give it time. Just give it time. I mean, for you and how you think.
To be honest with you, I was only speaking to Cool Tools earlier, and another gentleman that I know from Portugal, and I was explaining more or less the same thing. I'll just give it to in a nutshell.
Okay.
My mother and father are both from traveling community. My father has a long history of mental illness. My mother broke my father out of a mental institution so they could run away, and I was the offspring. Well, hey, by the way, I was a sunroof baby, and if you're wondering what that is, I was a cesarean. That's correct, folks.
Yeah, I remember
Fast
you saying
forward,
that on Cool
he
Tools
opened up,
channel with
moved to London.
Celtic, actually.
My father was constantly in and out of mental institutions, and there was constantly people in the house, drinking, violence, criminality. And by the time I got to the age of, well, I actually physically died when I was about 3.5, 4 years of age. I just dropped dead. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. I just dropped dead, and an Asian doctor, I believe, of well, the best way I could describe him would be either Indian or Pakistani origin. Me for about 30 minutes, and his colleagues were saying to him, "He's gone. Let him go. He's gone." But he kept on working on me, brought me back. So then at the age of 5, my mother and father separated. I went through kind of a little bit of a mental breakdown. Social workers got involved in my life. Then at that stage, was getting manipulated to believe that this is, might as well put out there on the line. I was told by my family relatives and that basically anybody in a position of authority or in a uniform was not to be trusted. So, i.e., teachers, lollipop ladies, police officers, doctors, nurses, postmen. Everybody I was to be on high alert. Then an alcoholic uncle of mine ended up moving into our house, and he used to physically abuse me, like with beatings and forced starvation at times. At the age of 5, there was one workers about him. He used to have these bolts on the door outside of a bedroom, my bedroom door, and he'd bolt me in there for days at a time. And the only human contact I got was being handed a meal, or when my the bucket I was. Fast forward a couple of years, my father got out of mental institution. I was trying to rekindle relationship with him, and wasn't going so well. Then one of my older brothers started. He started to physically beat me and introduced me to a life of crime. At a young age. Well, like, I remember committing my first crimes that I remember committing were not for him, but in general, were around the age of about 4, and that was entering properties through small windows and opening the door for whoever to come in and take the property, or shoplifting, stuff like that. Then when I was 7, he taught me how to hotwire cars and used to bring me all over London shoplifting and robbing cars. And let me see, gosh, where could we go from there then? At the age of 7, I tried to commit suicide for the first time.
That is dark.
I was going to throw myself off a second story window ledge, and I actually was left in the house, so I was, for an extended period of time, and there was no food, and I was instructed by my older brother to clean the house. Like, when he told me to do something, quite literally, I did it. I remember sitting on the stairs and I was singing Tina Turner songs and Celine Dion songs, and I was begging God to help me, or send somebody to help me, get me out of the predicament I was in. And being a young child, I was thinking to myself, it was gonna, miraculously, an angel or something like, I was thinking, it's gonna happen immediately. And I got no answer. So I went upstairs and climbed out onto the ledge, and I was eyeing up the drop, and I was thinking to myself, well, if I land the wrong way, I don't want to end up paralyzed or paraplegic. So I'm going to aim for the approximately 3 foot in front of the front wall of the house. There was the front wall of the garden, and I was thinking to myself, well, if I aim and I kind of connect with that, try like, dive on top of it, chances are, I'll do the necessary impact and damage. As I was doing this, a gentleman walked up the road. Never seen him before, and I never seen him after. And out of nowhere, he started shouting at me, "Get the fuck back in that window. What the fuck are you doing? Climb back in that window." And I was basically like, I was a mouthy little prick, like, do you know what I mean? I was telling him, fuck off, like, do you know what I mean? It's none of his business. And he was banging on the front door and shouting in the letterbox, and he was telling me, get the
He
fuck
was your
back in the
guardian
window.
angel. It wasn't your time.
That's right. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I climbed back in the window, and I lived. So I did from that. Well, I don't know if you want to call that an attempt of suicide or, preparation. I don't know what qualifies as an attempt, but that's the first time
It was an attempt in your mind, so it was an attempt. So
your prayer was answered.
My uncle
you just don't.
that had the alcoholism. My uncle that had the alcohol problem. He continued to live with us, and he
Oh,
would
that's not good.
he would be physically violent. But then I also had an older brother that was physically violent with me. He used to give me impossible tasks. Like one instance, he told me to go to the kitchen, make him a cup of tea and a sandwich, and come back up before he had finished a level on Super Mario. Now you're allocated 300 seconds to complete the levels, but if you know what you're doing, you can do them in about 120 seconds less. So it was an impossible task. When I landed back upstairs with a sandwich and cup of tea, he took out a can of dog food, of pedigree dog food, yellow can, never forget it, and
That
ripped
isn't
open the
exactly
top of
nice
it,
dog
put
food
a spoon
either.
into it.
No, 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 not that I've
He
tried it,
put
but
a spoon in it,
my dog will not eat that
and
shit.
he, he forced me to eat it. And every time I gurgitated or nearly got sick, he'd kick me into the ribs. While another one of my siblings, younger siblings by almost 2 years, was sitting and watching. Um, Also, at the same time, my younger sister, she was about 18 months old. Now, his bedroom door was at the top of the stairs. Quite literally, if you stepped beyond the threshold of his door, you would fall down the stairs. And we were in the room. Um, we're in the room one day, and there was my younger sister of about 18 months old and a younger brother, approximately two. And I've never said this on live. I've said this to very few people in my life, to be honest with you. But I'm
I've
gonna
heard
say it
some
now.
of it, but
She made a run for the door. She made a run for the door, and she would have fallen down the stairs. And
oh
he
bloody hell!
instructed me to grab her. So I grabbed her from behind and lifted her from underneath her armpits and carried her back into the room. And when I placed her down, he said, I seen what you did. And I was like, what? I seen what you did. And I was oblivious. And he started hitting me. And he said, you touched her chest. And I said, what? Like in my own mind, but I dared not to speak. And he said, you dirty pervert. I seen you touched her chest. You touched her chest. And he kept on hitting me. But he had me believing from the age of approximately
How
seven,
else
seven
was
and
you
a half
supposed to
until I
get
was,
a baby safe very
well,
quickly?
trust me,
It's a
Dix, I
split second
tortured
thing, isn't
myself.
it? Oh, I'm sure you did.
Right, right. I tortured myself. I actually was fully convinced that I was a pedophile from the age of about 7.5 years of age until I was 15. I used to be afraid
Really?
to be alone in a room with a child. That's a fact. I would purposely go out of my way to make sure I wouldn't be alone in a room with a child. Not because I would do anything, but in
Of
my
course
mind,
not.
I'd be saying to myself, "You're." I would be telling myself, okay, what he had repeatedly told me for years, that I was a pedophile and that I was a danger, basically, to children. So I would, I'd be terrified to be left in a room with a child or children. So I would do my utmost best not to allow myself to end up in those circumstances. And I'd be like quite literally, if I was in somebody's house, just say for instance I was in somebody's house and there was a baby in a pram or something, and they were heading to the kitchen to get a drink. Well, I'd jump up and I'd walk with them, like, because I'd be thinking, I'd be thinking this, and I was fully convinced that this was true. What he told me was the truth, and that's what I was, and I did not want to be a pedophile. I did not want to harm any children, so the best course of action was not to be around any children. Um, by the age of 10, I became an atheist. I totally gave up in thinking that any help would come. By the age of 12, I made myself voluntarily homeless, meaning I chose to sleep rough in London. Not every single night. Um,
No.
some nights I'd sleep in doorways. Some nights I'd sleep in friends' houses, and some nights I would return to uh, my family home. Or at that stage, I had siblings that had addresses in London as well. I'd go and I'd stay with them. But even as like, for instance, I'd be thinking, will I head back to the family home to stay the night or not? And I'll be thinking, that it's not going to work out well for you. It never does. And do you really want to do that, or would you rather find like somewhere to bunker down for the night? Uh, um. So yeah, that went on. So it did, on and off. And I got more heavily involved in we'll just say petty crime to an extent in London, and I was stabbed a few times in London, and I started thinking to myself, I'm gonna end up dead. If I stay in London, I'm gonna end up dead, and I'm not cut out for this. I need a change of scenery. So I knew I had family in Ireland, and I went down to Victoria Coach Station in London, and I could have easily gone, and I'm not proud to say I often did rob people or
You actually did it to
done
survive,
snatch
though,
and
not
runs
because you wanted to do
and
it.
stuff. Oh, quite literally, I did it to feed myself, or I did it to because in certain areas with the gangs, in order to be basically not to be victimized. When like out straight,
No, of course
if
not.
one of the older gang members would say, instruct you to do something, you would do it. And especially me being in the mentality that I had enough. And that's not an excuse. I'm not proud of it, but
No.
it was the way it was at that moment in time. But I went down to Victoria Coach Station, and I decided that I was gonna just sit there, and I would beg for enough money to get the coach back to Ireland, instead of instead of going and maybe snatching a handbag, or robbing someone's mobile phone and selling it to someone, or push bikes. I used to rob push bikes, so I did regular. I used to break into phone boxes. The like the collection box below.
Yeah.
I used to break those open, and eventually I got the price of a coach, and got on the coach, landed in Dublin. Uh, Located my family, and they well, my older sister wasn't too welcoming, and I was encouraged to go and live with other family, and I just felt the cold shoulder, so I ended up sleeping rough in Dublin, and for
That's
approximately
rough.
2 years, and mixing with different individuals. And I was coming from in London. The mind frame was, um, you before you do something, you say you're gonna do it. So, for instance, if somebody, at least this the way it was on in the projects or in the council estates, if somebody said they were gonna have a fight with so and so, well, they would let everybody know before they did it. Or if they were going to stab someone,
I
they
would, I
would
would
say,
say
yeah, when I see
nothing's
him,
changed much in London. It's still the same.
oh, it's got worse. But
Yeah, it
when
has.
I landed in Dublin, that was my mentality. Was basically, you know, you fucking, if you have a problem with a guy or someone's bitching about you or something, or someone has robbed your me sleeping bag and sleeping tent, I would obviously turn around and I'd say to someone, well, when I see them, I'm gonna have words with them, and if it becomes physical, it becomes physical. And that's not exactly how things are done in Ireland. I quickly found out, because in Ireland the way it is you say nothing, you do what you got to do, and you move on. But yeah, so that kind of the culture shock of going from, and the things I was doing to earn money in London, you couldn't exactly do in Dublin. Even though it's a city, it's a much smaller
Okay.
city.
It's
Um,
completely different rules, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So eventually, I got into a center that helped youth. I was staying with a friend, and I was 15, and they used to give you basically, I won't lie, yeah, what they were giving me to attend for a week was €56. If I was even begging on the streets for like 2 or 3 hours, even an hour in a good spot, I would get more. But
It's
it kept me
ridiculous.
it kept me off the streets, and it gave me an opportunity to debate and to talk about different subjects and to focus on art and stuff. So I enjoyed it to a certain degree, and yeah, I attended that. So I did on and off. I got kicked out, so I did, because a possession of hashish, and then about 6 months passed, and I stopped smoking hash and started drinking heavily instead. And
Ooh.
yeah, got back in to the center, and when I got back in, it was under new management, and I realized that they were being discriminative towards travelers, because
Oh, that's
if
ridiculous. In a way, it's not
if
ridiculous,
and
obviously, but to do that to you is ridiculous. That's what I meant.
well, it actually, they get paid more, Vix, if there's a traveling person in the class, that they teach, let it be in one of those centers or in just say a regular, public school. They get paid more for having that traveling person in their class. They actually get a small bit of a bonus per traveler. You know, they also get the bonus if the person uh, is a foreign national and they have language difficulties. So
Yeah.
systematically, I watched the we'll just say the number one of this center systematically expel and exclude and um, disregard one traveler after another. Now, sometimes are reasonably justified, sometimes weren't. Like, I stopped her from being attacked with a teapot one day by a lad from Dublin that was a non traveler. He was going to hit her with a teapot, so he was, and I stepped in and basically, you know, more or less, like, she was an older woman. She was like, I don't know, maybe about 50 odd. Doesn't matter. Like, the fact is, he showed up late, and she was saying, you showed up late, so you might as well go home, because you're not getting paid for today, or you can stay and you can engage in the classwork and stuff. And he was effing and blind, and he was demanding that he get his full payment, and he lifted the teapot. That was one incident. But yeah, I systematically watched them kick travelers out and replace them with foreign nationals, so they could still get the same amount of money. Um, there was a convention for all of these youth centers around the country to go to a conference, and I think it was three individuals from each youth center were to be elected by not only the staff but by the their peers in order to speak on their behalf, how they could improve the service or reach
Sure.
into the community more and help more youths. And at that time there was five travelers were attending full time, and not one was picked. In fact, it was kept hush hush until one of the guys that I know, I used to smoke with him and get drunk with him. He told me, he said, "Oh yeah, we're basically going to this thing and da 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 da." And I kicked up fuss. I said it's total discrimination. I said not only were we not chosen, we weren't even informed to have basically the opportunity to even volunteer, and I was told, well, basically the number one in charge just told me, basically, shut your mouth, nothing you can do about it. In fact, we're not going to attend because of your hullabaloo. We're not going to be attending the event.
That's
The
absolutely
second in
ridiculous.
charge and the third in charge stood with me in an office, and the two of them said to me, "We can see exactly where you're coming from, but it's not us. Our jobs are on the line here." And I said, that's quite literally what they said to me. Our jobs are on the
I
line
can
here.
believe it.
And I was thinking, okay, you know. Um, well, then, basically, there was a couple of altercations uh, in the center with staff members being threatened. And there was a couple of occasions where I was actually called out of my studies. I was called out of my activity to go into other classrooms to basically oversee the behavior of the youths, like the young males and females. In one incident, Billy, he was the third in command. He was from down the country. He didn't. He was really like a law-abiding citizen. Worked in postal service all his life, from the age of 15 right up until retirement. Never seen a drug in his life. Never broke a crime in his life that he admit to anyway. And by the time I got kicked out anyway, Billy was well informed on different drugs and whatnot. I liked Billy, even though he didn't take up for me when we were being discriminated against. But um, he he had this vein on his temple. Yeah, he was bald, really tall guy. He was from Kerry, so he was in the very south of Ireland, right? Beautiful county. And he had this vein, and when he would get annoyed, you could see it. physically pulsating. Now, I was called out of, I believe it was art. I were doing some art projects, and by the number one, the head, of the place, like the manager of the place,
Yeah.
and asked would I go in and sit in with Billy because he was finding it difficult in order to uh, conduct the class. And I said, yeah, I'll go in. Now, that wasn't my job. I could have refused, but I said, no, I'll go in, like, because I like Billy. Well, upon going in, I sat there for a couple of minutes and I listened to the abuse that he was being put under. And it was derogatory stuff that was aimed not only at him, but at his wife.
Oh, that's terrible.
That there was, there was a couple of them saying things that I won't repeat, but there was one in particular, and I didn't lose it, but I more or less, I said this, I stood up, so I did, in the middle of the classroom, and I said, he can't do nothing. I pointed at Billy. I said, he can't physically do anything to you, okay? But I said, I can. I said, I can. I will see you on the street, and I basically, if you do not stop what you're doing now, I promise you'll be sorry for it. Immediately, it stopped. Everybody in the class, they didn't, they didn't, they were throwing pencils, they were throwing chairs, there was smoke, they were rolling joints, they were smoking, joints in the classroom. They were fucking. It was pure chaotic when I walked in first. Upon the class finishing, Billy called me back and waited for everyone to leave, and he thanked me. He said, "I really want to thank you, Sean, for that. I really do appreciate you intervening." And I eventually got kicked out because I kept on raising the fact that there was certain levels of discrimination, like the word knacker, for instance, was
Yeah,
being
you
widely
explained that
used in
word, and
the
it's horrible.
vicinity, which basically is a very derogatory term. It would be like calling an African American the N word
Oh
in a
yeah,
roundabout way.
that is why I was told never to use it, in
And
my family. So
the staff members and students were using it openly. So there was a few different things. The straw that broke the camel's back
I'm sure it
was
did.
we were going down to the canteen, and the manager handed me a roll, like a kind of like a baguette,
Yeah.
a mini baguette with one slice of ham. I kid you not. Yeah, everybody else got a chance to order what they wanted in their roll. Yeah, like if they wanted lettuce or tomato or tuna or chicken. I got handed a mini baguette with one slice of ham wedged into the middle of it. Yeah, and when I just like I had enough. I had enough of it. Yeah, and I opened the roll and there wasn't even a bit of butter. I kid you not. on
Oh
her.
dear.
I'm telling the truth.
What? I know
There
you
wasn't
are.
even a bit of butter. So I said, can I get a bit of butter at least? I said, for fuck's sake, I'm not entitled at least to a bit of butter. And I start calling out all the different students and asked them what they got in their role. You know what I mean? And they were naming out like 4 and 5 items, 3 items, 2 items.
You started to break up.
You know, like,
Candace, you started to break up again.
you know, like
Candace, you
this.
started to break up again.
And
Candace,
she snapped. She said, "That's it. That's it. I want you out. I want you out of this building immediately." And she said she was going into the office to call the police, or in Ireland we call them on guard check corner, to have me removed. So I voluntarily walked outside, and the second manager.
what happened?
I think where he is, it was getting more trouble. It'd be back. It's an absolute shame, though. I mean, for siblings to do that for a start. I mean, I had a bit of a rocky one with my sister, so I completely get it. But
The problem is, you can't look through the past all the time, to make yourself
no,
miserable. The problem is, did you learn by it? And are you a better person because of it?
oh, he definitely is.
He gained then. He won the game.
Hopefully it'd be better now, sure, for you.
Yeah. I was trying to tell him he's having troubles, but he didn't hear me.
It's
Hello?
okay.
There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you. I was just saying about in regards to your
Loud
siblings
and
and
clear.
not treating you like that. Yeah, loud and clear. I had the same with my sister. She would like pick on me because my sister's a few years older than me. I would take it for so long, and then I thought, no, enough is enough. So I knocked her spark out, and oh, he's stopped again.
Well, he took off again. Well, okay.
It'd be back. And as soon as I did that, she never bothered me that way again. But people have to push me to that point where I will like retaliate. Won't retaliate just because I will take it for a little while, but then I will snap. And also my little brother would see it too, so he knew not to mess with me either. And then when I had all that stuff with my stepfather and that's why them two probably just like let it happen, and they knew I would bloody deal with it.
I hate using my term. Well, I can't do anything anymore. But when I was younger, 15 years ago, man, when I start crying, my eyes start tearing. That's it. I feel no pain. I go right after the person. I think nothing but going after them. That's it. It's just a tunnel with me. You know what I mean? But I don't like to use that. I never did. I only used it a couple times, but few and far.
Well, I've said it to a few people. As soon as I did that to my stepfather, I knew I had problems and I had to deal with my temper. And I've been working on it ever since. It's still a work in progress, but certain things have happened over the past couple of years which have like tried to put me back to that point, but it hasn't. So I know what I have worked on has worked to a degree, which is a good thing. So now, because of my temper, I sort of see it in others too, and I think people that have gone through that will see it in other people. And I actually think Sean will probably be able to see it in a lot of youngsters, and I think he'd be good at being like a counsellor for that kind of thing, because he's been through it and would be able to help a lot of youngsters into not doing the same sorts of things. But it's a shame there's so much bigotry over there.
James Swelly. Swelly, is that right? Swelly.
Yeah, it was James's birthday Yes, well, yesterday now, but yeah, it was his birthday on Thursday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, you went through a lot. I know you did, DJ, and I can understand your reasoning. And I can. Yeah, if I was you, I would definitely carry something with me.
Well, I don't think that's necessary, because if I have something with me, I'm going to use it, which would get me into more trouble. So, I mean, I've got a big dog, and like I say, if people are stupid enough to come at me when he's there, then more for them. But I don't understand why people have to be so bigoted and nasty and that to others. Why can't they just, you know?
I don't understand what James Foley's rights vets. How do overcome with making mistakes, and thank you for. I don't understand what he means. I'm sorry, James. I don't understand what you mean.
He's saying, how do you overcome with making mistakes?
Oh, we all make mistakes. I'm sorry. My apologies. We all make mistakes. You learn by them. That's all. I'm not perfect. Trust me. I got skeletons.
He's asking how you overcome them. I think you just have to live with it.
That's the
Try
only thing
and
you can do.
work out how to not do it again and learn from it. I
That's
think
right.
that's the only way of doing it. I mean,
It's a teaching experience. It's a book of what do you call that? Uh, School of Hard Knocks. It's like
school
if you,
hard knocks. Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
yeah, I mean, if you
There
get
are
burned
lots
by a
of
match, do you do it again? You don't do it again unless you're a fool.
ways. Well, exactly.